It's the American dream. It is out there. You got to get it. TP's like, Brian, you're so monotone. It's not even enjoyable to watch. It's not hard to get 1 million views, but it's hard to get 1 million views or viewers to watch minutes and hours worth of content. If anyone out there is watching and you want to start a YouTube channel, I can tell you right now, you're never going to please everybody.
4 million a year. I did it last week. I'm like, good for you. Never ever compare you to anyone.
I don't need to make $10 million and keep 10%. I would rather make $1 million, $2 million in sales and keep 30, 40, 50%. There's two things that people go to YouTube for: entertainment or knowledge.
Videos is like me. This is the car I drive. This is how much money I make. Nobody cares. I love how authentic you are with a background, I'm looking at your videos. You are as simple, as raw as you possibly can. I love your YouTube channel. You have 40,000 subscribers. You're probably going to get way more after this, and you're probably going to grow. 743 videos. I want to talk about your YouTube journey, how it changed your business. Tell me about yourself, about your business, Grant Roofing. I love the channel. Is like how to DIY. Let's start there. Give me the journey of you getting into the business, and then journey from getting in the business, getting on YouTube for your business.
Yeah, so real quick rundown, as fast as I possibly can. It's a little bit longer story. I'm one of 9 kids. My family or my parents gave us shelter, food, and a house, clothes. Anything additional, we had to pay for. I wanted to be a pilot at a young age. My current job at the time wasn't doing it, so I got into roofing. I got into roofing full-time around 2000. So I've been roofing for about 23 years now. In 2017, I had enough with my previous employer, left on a whim, just started something. My wife was on board and grew it into this. So in about 2018, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. They gave her about 2 years. And I started a YouTube channel, just kind of keep busy, keep it off my mind. And what I was trying to do, and I feel like I've grown a lot on YouTube since then, but I've used YouTube a lot to learn things over the years. So I'm just trying to focus the content on what would the homeowner want to look up, especially with the inflation, money getting tight. People are looking up how to do repairs, how to do things on their own. And that's trying to be what I gear the content to, because there's a lot of roofing channels out there. They're the world's fastest. They're the 1 square challenge. I'm like, this is not what we need to teach the next generation. So that's kind of what I've been shaping the channel to. And it's really started to pick up steam. Over the past 2 years, I've seen where it's gotten enough traction where people call me and they're like, hey, I'm in West Lafayette. I tried to do this myself. I got my buddies to help. Lunchtime came and they never came back. He's like, there's a storm coming tomorrow and I am screwed. He's like, what can you do? So I drove an hour out to go check it out, helped him. And then I've just been really keeping in track with people that call. And a lot of times people are like, hey, I found you on YouTube. Will you go to this town? Now, when it states away, obviously I can't, but the YouTube channel has definitely helped my reach out there. On top of that, anyone in my local market, when they do some research, chances are my videos pop up, they see me, and then it's got more clout, more video proof that they can see that we're in business, we mean we're in business, versus my competition in the area. So it's been a great thing. I had no idea it was going to get to this point.
So good. So good. Love everything about your story. I want to focus a little bit on what you said there. You started to get off your mind from your personal problems, from, your mom having cancer. I can see it. I can relate to it. But a lot of people don't realize that, YouTube is, and doing YouTube, producing content, it's all about consistency. It's just like committing to the gym. It's just like, I've done it for so many years. You have to prepare. You have to focus on the topic. It makes you a better person because it's a form of giving to another human being information, advice, something valuable, right? And once you start doing it, would you say it kind of creates addiction to keep doing it? Just like, I know like runners have it. Like people who run, they say it's a drug. We want to run more. CrossFitters have it. We want to more.
Yeah, I could kind of relate to that, but not in that kind of sense, like an egotistic kind of way. But yeah, when you start reading comments that people are like, hey, I could not afford this. I couldn't do that, but I did it on my own based on watching your stuff. That does make you feel good inside. And I always want to give back. It doesn't, in my opinion, tithing is a big thing. It doesn't have to be through a church or some organization. As long as you're doing good to your community or doing good for your community, I think that's a great thing. And the more you give, the more, that's like the root thing in business. somebody's looking for something. If you can solve their problems and create value for those people, that's what I think this generation is really mixing up. They need to focus on solving people's problems, and the money will come and find them. It's just when you change the way you think about business.
I agree 100%. Did it help you mentally? How's your mom doing today? Like, did she
She
pass?
passed away in 2020.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's tough. It's actually when I started the reason I started a roofing company, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, and my mother-in-law got cancer. She used to come to us. We had four kids at a time, and I didn't have my parents here, so her family, my wife, sorry for my kids. Guys, come on.
Good.
So my wife's family was the only family that we have, and her mom was the closest to us. So we lived in Georgia. They were in Minnesota. She would travel to us every year. We would come for Thanksgiving stuff. So it was very, very hard for us to learn that she's going through chemotherapy and, whole 9 yards. She survived though, but we moved. I sold my flooring business in Georgia and I moved to Minnesota. I told my wife, like, let's move to Minnesota to be close to your mom. That was also kind of the reason the whole roofing industry came to me. And I picked the roofing because I was in brand new state. I didn't care what business to start. I did not want to do floors anymore. And at that point, anything would be from zero. So I started that and she survived, which is really good. She's still around. She's picking up my kids today because I'm flying out. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Sorry you lost your mom. But did it help you? Did it help you? Did it do the trick what you were trying to do? Did it help you stay off the pain? And
Yes, but sometimes looking back, it's almost like we're, in a way, I almost feel like I was masking the pain and not dealing with the inevitable. I mean, we're all going to die one day. At least with this, it wasn't a tragedy. We had time to prepare. We had chances to write letters to them. Never takes the pain away, but after the fact, it's helped so many people. I'm kind of glad it led me down that road. One of the biggest goals I really wish I could achieve before she passed was I was trying to pay off her mortgage. They gave so much to the 9 of us that she's always had a mortgage. They just kept falling backwards on that. So my goal was to pay the house off, but she passed away in 2020. I achieved that goal in 2021, 2022, about 2 years too late. So, but I know she'd be proud, and just want to keep doing this kind of content because, I mean, you're right. You said it the other day. It's the American dream. It is out there. You got to get it. You got to stay focused and go after it.
absolutely, 100%. I see that your most popular video is worst roof ever, roofing scammer. And then tell me how you come up with your ideas for your content. So many roofers, so many contractors are hating on YouTube or not trying to understand. They start making YouTube and there's 5, 10, 20 views and everybody's chasing views. And it's so easy to grow on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or even, Facebook, because, 2-3 second views is easy. I mean, you're getting 14, 15 minute, 21, 37-minute videos, and they're getting 360, 400,000 views. How did it start? How did you do your first couple of videos? Did you get views right away? Did you get a recognition right away?
No, so it took a good 2 years to get any kind of traction, to get that 1,000 subscriber mark. And now the algorithm's always changing. I mean, I've seen people blow up. I've personally followed channels that have great content and the algorithm just pushes it. Within 6 months, they're approaching 1 million subscribers. Now their content's really drawn out. Mine is started just with a cell phone, just recording stuff. And even my brother, he critiqued me. He's like, Brian, you're so monotone. It's not even enjoyable to watch. So just trying to get over that side of it. And then basically I just try to put my mind into what is the viewer looking for. No different than if I'm trying to learn how to invest. I looked up to you guys, you and Eric Reno, even back then. I mean, Eric Reno was like, oh my God, who is this guy? He's up in Michigan. He's got 13,000 subscribers. He's awesome. And I just tried to follow him, get into the YouTube channel stuff. It's grown my channel. Then he comes back into the area and, he went incognito helping his brother with his aerospace contracts and all that. So totally loving that. Getting sidetracked here, but basically whatever the homeowner's going to look up, that's what I try to film. So the channel for about 2 years, it kind of shifted into just what am I seeing on an everyday basis? If I can't make a big production, I don't have a videographer or any of that. I just try to show what I see every day and turn it into a learning point. So whether it's the worst roof ever, like what went bad, yeah, anyone can make a roof look good, but installing it right so it doesn't develop leaks, that's the kind of stuff I started to show. It started gaining traction, but really over the past few months after these hurricanes hit the South, it's just how to do a simple shingle repair, how to flash a chimney, how to put a box vent in, the stuff the homeowner's going to look up, and that's what keeps them on the platform. So it's not like TikTok. You said it's not hard to get 1 million views, but it's hard to get 1 million views or viewers to watch minutes and hours worth of content. So I remember to get monetized, you need to do 4,000 watched hours in a year. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm getting like 16,000 watched hours a day right now. So it's pretty insane.
It is, because you produce some valuable content, and you said something that's absolute key to, I would argue, not only the YouTube game, but the business game. You have to think about interest of your viewer, of the people who follow you, who are about to hire you. YouTube does not forgive selfishness and ego. If you do it for yourself, and I've seen that mistake so many times, people who start a podcast only to talk about themselves, people who start videos is like, me, me, me. This is the car I drive. This is how much money I make. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You made it for yourself. All right. You're a rich person. Good for you. What's there for me? Everything so selfish. I absolutely love it. And also, I want to compliment you for working with your hands. That's what this industry really needs. So many times people call themselves roofers, greatest roofers, good roofers, whatever, right? And then you follow them. You don't believe that guy can ever work. You don't even have to do the work every single day, but you have to be believable. Like, I'm not a roofing every day, right? But I'm pretty sure my audience would believe that if tomorrow I have to go and re-roof my house, I'm capable of doing it. I'm still a hardworking guy. I've done it. I've installed floors. I've installed siding. I've painted walls, right? I'm not just talking about it. I'm a contractor to the core. And I feel like so many salespeople, so many marketing guys just trying to get business out of it. What they do is they BSing their audience. Yeah. They're creating content for the sake of content, just to get attention, just to get business. And I feel like we as humans very not careful, but we read people really well, and we only follow true experts. Like, I'm never gonna follow someone who's pretended to be someone he is not, who wants to be cool when he's not, right?
Yeah, I feel like people can see right through that. And there's two things that with YouTube that I've really learned. There's two things that people go to YouTube for: entertainment or knowledge. So if you can gear it towards entertainment, whether it's cats and dogs or some kind of comedian, like whatever. My daughter watches all kinds of stuff for entertainment. And then you got the other spectrum, which is how to fix a washer, how to fix the heater element in your stove. Like, these are things I personally looked up. And taxes, there's accountants that I follow. Henry Ford, was it when he was on trial for something? I just remember one little tidbit of this book I read where he goes into trial and he's like, look, you're asking me all this stuff I don't know, but at my desk, I have a panel of buttons. And you can ask me anything with this company. I can press a button and have somebody here to answer the questions. It's not what you know, but who you know. There's just, there's so much stuff I don't know in business. And then I started researching it for that knowledge on YouTube. And I'm going to my accounts like, hey, can I do this? So like, I don't even know about that. So don't leave it up to other people. Definitely got to have your team, but learn, study, go after it. I mean, the possibility is endless.
Let's talk about the mistakes. Have you ever made a mistake? Have you ever have to delete the video because you didn't like it, or it got a backlash, or like a
no? So I've never really deleted videos. If anyone out there is watching and you want to start a YouTube channel, I can tell you right now, you're never going to please everybody. You're always going to have people that they hate what you're doing, or they think they're right, and just block that out. There's comments all the time. People are even like, are you going to delete that? Or are you going to censor that? No, I don't believe in censoring. They have the freedom of speech. I'm for that 100%. If you say something I don't agree with, whatever, I just may not reply to you.
What kind of hate do you get? Because, you have a thick skin, and I love how simple you are about it. And also that you talk about haters because everybody has it, but it doesn't bother you. What
But
kind of
sometimes the comments do, but it's like, you know what? I just got to remember my core belief here. You're not going to please anyone. If you try to cater to those guys, you're going to piss off the people that really care about you. So, um, I mean, I've had even death threats on the channel. You get some of those hardcore guys. They're like, "I'm going to find you. I'm going to come get you." Just, I want to watch what I say here, but I know a lot of it's probably bogus. I just focus towards the good comments, the people that do take time out of their day to comment, to say how it's helped them. So, mistakes, I try to put out there in some of the videos near the end of the video, letting the viewer like, hey, you tell me what you like to see, what kind of benefit you get, and I will shape more content towards that. I'm hoping to do more come this fall and winter here in my area in central Indiana. So we're about putting the brakes on. We're doing a job now, try to get another one out of the county done. I don't like doing it because it's not going to seal down where I live this time of year. But I wanted to do more content. I actually got a guy up in Chicago driving down Friday. He's wanting to show me some new product on the market for roofing. So I'm going to look at it. He's like, I'll pay it. I was like, I don't need money. He's like, you give me your honest feedback if it's good or bad. I'm like, I can do that. I'm not asking you to pay me. You're taking the time out of your day to drive in my office here. I'll look at it. If it's good, I'll share it. If it's bad, I'll tell you. So I just want to keep that core belief, you know. When I've cared more about helping other people, my life has changed. I can never, 4 years ago, I had no idea I'd be where I am right now. Not a bit of stress when it comes to how to pay the bills. So the bills are covered. The bills are paid. So I want to continue to help in any way, shape, or form I can.
do you have employees?
Yes, I know because I just saw a video yesterday of yours, and you're like the things that can go wrong in 2024, and you're like you got to have employees and receptionists. I built this company bootstrapping where it was myself and the guys, so I still answer the calls. So if you call Grand Roofing, there's a 99% chance you're going to get me or the answering machine. So I'm the sole employee, and I do have subcontract work that I've worked with for 13 years with great quality control and relations with them. There's some benefits and there's some cons to it. The cons is that I'm the one going out to take care of it. The benefits are you get away from like certain regulations like ERISA, where you're the sole employee. I can self-direct my IRA, things like that. So there's benefits, pros and cons to either.
I see.
I don't need to make $10 million and keep 10%. I would rather make $1 million, $2 million in sales and keep 30, 40, 50%. You know, I don't have that ego. Look at me, $20 million. I'm happy. I'm debt free.
Got it. No, and that's the most important. Like, don't let anyone change it. Don't let anyone compare. I mean, comparison is a thief of joy. I tell people all the time. I was in Monarch Roofing seminar one day, and it was a lot of guys in the room. Like we had 30 guys, $30 million guys, $50 million guys, $10 million, and then $2 million. And I told everyone, I said, look around, you know, because I see $2 million guys are very shy. When I was doing like 3-4 million, some big players were trying to belittle me online. Like, who are you? What do you do? 4 million a year. I did it last week. I'm like, good for you. Never ever compare you to anyone. Like, what people don't understand is, I remember like League 8, the guy I fought, he was comparing himself to me. He's like, oh, I run a $50 million company. Your company was like 4 or 5 million. I'm like, so what? When we were in high school, when I was 16 years old, you were in the greatest country in America. Your parents, your uncle have $100 million company. I was in freaking Siberia, not knowing one word of English, right? It's me against me. Like for me, $3 million company in America 20 years later, it's not just American dream. It's like winning ultimate lottery, right? And for me to compare myself to, and by the way, this is my, my chapter, number 1, number 2, number 3, and it's your chapter number 10. We're not in the same book. Talk to me 10 years from now. But even if I never reach it, you still cannot, I tell people all the time, if you are not happy with a $20 an hour, you will never be happy if you make $500 an hour. It's not about what you make. It's, are you happy? If Dmitry, who was making $6 an hour, is the same guy who runs 5 businesses today. Like, it's what we make and what we do does not define us. And I see it in you clearly. Now, we have to push. And, I do see a lot of guys struggling. What I like about you, that you're a small guy, but you don't have a stress. And I think it's a key, because most guys who do $1 million, 1.5, it's very like once you have employees, once you have warehouse, like once you have overhead, it's hard to pay the bills. Like
Hmm.
that small size, it's very dangerous because everything is paycheck to paycheck, right?
Hmm.
But when you're owner operator, like, and you're a genius, like, $40,000 YouTube channel, you're known in the community, vehicle rep, you're doing a lot of things right, and you sustain your growth, right? So you live beyond your means. You're not stressing. That's what I love about you. Most people are more than stressful. I talked to like one of my close friends in the industry. He had like $80,000 in debt, doing like $1.5–2 million a year, and considering maybe even bankruptcy. I mean, like very hard situation. So how do you help someone like that? You can let everybody go, but he does not know how to do half of the stuff that people
Yeah.
work with him. So the only way to grow there is to grow the company to make money.
Yeah, I mean, you've covered people on your channel countless times. There are $40 million companies taking deposits and then closing their doors. Their employees and subcontractors don't even know. Their salesmen show up, see a door or a note on the door. It's like, just because you're selling more does not mean you're making more. It's what you're keeping at the end of the day. And to keep it in check, when you lose a loved one, I mean, it sucks. One of the things I always look back to, like, I should have been there more. I should have made more memories with her. We've had great memories. I've seen like 48 of the 50 states and grown up traveling with them and all that. But I don't want that life of my daughter where I'm working in a factory and have nothing at the end of it. My dad still worked at a factory and he had nothing. They renegotiate, cut everything. His pension's gone. I don't want to be stuck like that. So the other thing is being happy. I'm not bragging of like, oh, I'm or belittling people or saying that somebody's bigger. I don't care. You're in two different games. I'm in my own game in my life, and my goal is to have more time with my family and daughter. Have I sacrificed a little bit while my daughter was a baby growing up to a couple years old? Yes. She's 6 years old now, and now I get to take her to school whenever I need. I mean, I can cancel my plans and shift things around and be there for her. To me, that is more than any amount of money possible. It's amazing people these days, they will stand in line for hours to save a few bucks and they don't value their time. Having the time is, I mean, any given day, there's like $6 trillion circling the globe any given day. It's so much easier to get more. The one thing you can never get more of is your time. And if you can just keep that in the forefront of your mind while you're building the business and trying to just produce value for people, people are willing to trade their money to solve their problems. So if you can do that better than others and just don't ever lose track of why you're doing it.
How else do you use your YouTube channel in your marketing branding? How does it help you maybe sell the jobs and stuff?
So I've not had to like pitch the YouTube channel per se. More people just find me from doing their own research, and it gives more like, oh, you're that guy. I mean, I was in my own town a year or two ago doing trick or treating, trunk or treating my daughter, and somebody approached me. He's like, "Hey, you're that roofer." It's like, wow, there's a lot of roofers on YouTube. He's like, "No, you're Brian, right?" It's like, "Oh, okay." I just
Oh, that's cool.
I don't use YouTube to be like, hey, look at me. I really ultimately started it to help people. I mean, look, I don't have a big production. It's me in an OSB office that I built. It's not even done. If you look over here, it's still unfinished because I'm not providing value to the customers and not worried about me and what I've got to show for it.
But
I
that's
still have my 2003 GMC truck I started my first business with sitting out in the parking lot. It's a rust bucket now. I don't have the Lambo. I could buy one. I don't need it.
But that's what's cool about you. That's what people like. And that's what people don't realize. When we brag, when we show off, it turns people away. It turns, like, Rolexes, all of that. I teach this now. Like I'm actually flying to Austin, Texas today, and I have a presentation called, top 10 do's and don'ts. I show people what not to do and what to do instead. Showing people that you have a Rolex and big car, lifted truck, whatever, just showing off in general. It's a turn off for everyone. Like, what's perception do people have about contractors? We make too much money. We exploit the labor, Mexicans, whatever, exploit the crews, exploit the subs, don't paper contractors, don't do the work, right? That's
Mhm.
what that's what they think of us. And why? Because we position ourselves that way. Because it's a content we put. I mean, have you seen checks where business owner gives a huge check to the salesperson of the month, like 48,000 he made in August? What message it sends to the homeowner?
Yeah. It ties back to what I was saying about the world's fastest roofers. There's too many videos on YouTube of the world's fastest roofer, the 1 square challenge. Is it fun? Yes, but I mean, if you look at those closely, the nail placement's not good. In my opinion, it's kind of a bad taste. We need more of the back to the basics. We don't need to be bragging. I don't know.
No, I love it. I love everything about it. But I would argue that the content that you create makes you an expert. It seals the deal. So when people see, like, it builds your authority more than anything. You're authentic guy,
Yes.
hard working. So it seals the deal. Like, they don't have to. Do you feel like sometimes you don't have to introduce yourself? If they already have seen your YouTube channel and they still call you, it's a second or third interaction with you. They already know your character. They know what you're all about. You don't have to sell. You take order. Do you agree?
Yes, yeah. So just doing good quality work like that and focusing on reviews, it's huge. In my local area, I'm like crushing it in the organic review department, like on Google. There's other people that have mine. I don't know why people don't focus on it. I'm not paying for reviews. I'm just simply asking when I do a good job, hey, do you mind leaving a review? It'll help us out to help future customers have a chance to read about us before possibly using us. And just that one simple little thing has just had a massive influx in the amount of people that do leave reviews. Now, I will say, a lot of people have a good intent and they say they're going to leave a review thoroughly happy, but life happens. But just that simple thing has really made my reviews jump over the past couple of years. I think, I mean, not that it's a ton, but for a small $1.25 million a year company, it's 190 reviews, 5-star reviews or something. So that, and then when they mix that with seeing YouTube and can see like, oh, wow, he's working on $500,000 homes, large homes. Like in my area, that's a good size home. And people can see that. Like, it's kind of hard to manipulate. When you go to somebody else's company and you see reviews and they're like, oh, wait a minute, there's a common theme here. Out of the 20 reviews, 6 of them have the same last name. It's kind of
exactly.
Dude.
Do you still use your phone mainly to film your videos?
Yes, I still use, I shot one right here today. It's a YouTube short of soffit ventilation where they put vinyl in, but while we're doing the roof today, it's cut and you can clearly see. A lot of people don't. So the only other equipment I built this company on is a GoPro, which is out in my truck right now because I don't have a photographer. So the GoPro is usually first person view when I'm doing the repair work. If you look over the last few weeks, we've slowed down. I've done more of that. I don't have a big production. I don't have the DSLR or whatever. I mean, I just recently went out and bought this DJI gimbal. I've used it once. It just sits in my desk here. I mean, just keep it simple. You don't have to plan it. The biggest thing for anyone new out there is just start. The hardest part is starting. Just start.
I agree. How often do you post?
I try to do at least once a week. There's sports where
big video, right? Like,
well, it just depends because like when the crew is working throughout the summer, like from like March, April this year, weather broke. We were busy through August, October, or September, October-ish. So I didn't have a lot of content come. It was kind of dead. I bought this building, renovated the house, just a lot going on. Going into the winter, I really want to try to do 1 to 2 videos per week, more geared towards the repair work I'm doing that can help people, or a little tidbit of knowledge. So that's another thing is the algorithm. They don't want to promote creators that are just sporadically posting. If you're posting consistently, try to keep that pattern. If it's twice a week, try to keep twice a week. If it's once a month with a really good banger video, long form content, keep with that pattern. And that's where I've seen the best luck. Just keeping what people are looking for and keeping consistent with what you do.
I agree. What kind of growth do you have right now on the channel? Like how many subscribers?
It's starting up a little bit. So on average, I would say 1,000 to 1,500 subscribers per month it's bringing in. And then I don't focus on the metrics. I honestly don't. I do look occasionally. I try to reply to comments more than I look at the metrics. But one metric did blow my mind away. I looked last night, 3 million impressions a month here recently. So an impression is just how many people is it putting it in front of, whether it's a thumbnail, recommended video, or something. So I'm like, wow, you can do one roof a day where you can share your knowledge and it can scale infinitely out there.
It's amazing. Who usually is hating on you? Would you say it's a roofer? So it's a homeowner?
So I think it's other contractors or other roofers, most of all the time it's a homeowner. They're thanking me. And I try to put a little tidbit of verbiage at the end of some of the videos just to get engagement. And it really works really good. One of the videos I did 2 years ago is where I really started noticing this. I just happen to casually be saying while I'm talking to fill in some blank, like where I'm working, hey, where are you watching from? And I started seeing this theme of comments pop up, Washington State, Florida, whatever, even other countries. And it got me the idea, I was like, I need to just casually say like a secret word or something that pops in my mind. And it's near the end of the video. So for two things, it helps with the engagement, which YouTube likes and recommends it to more people. And it also, you know, that they've watched 4 to 8, 12 minutes in whenever you say that. So it's kind of a fun little hack.
Love it. I'm gonna steal it from you. I'm gonna ask.
Go for it.
I do Sunday news. I'm actually curious myself. I'll ask my people tomorrow because I'm filming tomorrow Sunday news. Where they're watching from. I'm just curious, and I'll see.
Hey, try it. You'll see an influx. So 2 or 3 of the recent videos, one, like I said, one of them was 2 years ago is when I did. I was up on a 2-story roof doing a little repair of like 4 metric shingles or something. And I started seeing those, but then here recently, like a couple of them that popping in my mind, I was working on a busy road and I said traffic sucks. And you'll hear people comment traffic sucks or whatever. But I think they're going to go out of their way more to just like say, hey, I'm watching from versus some random keyword to say. But it is kind of cool. It's fun to engage.
Very cool. Last question, brother, and I'm gonna let you go. Behind you, I see shingles. Koch. What is that?
You look, oh,
Yes.
this is actually air filters for the rental.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
no,
looks like a bundle of shingle from the outside.
so I do have some random stuff in here. It's the office is not done. I'm hoping to do more. I'm still trying to build the bathroom wall out. I do have insulation in the heater up here on the wall, so a mini split, awesome thing. But there's some like standing seams, some decorative stuff, roll form metal. Got some Tamco Titan shingle sample board over here I've been trying to work on. I did go to one of their product demos earlier a couple months back. It was really cool. So, I mean, eventually I do want to have something a little better to look at than an OSB wall. So that's on the list to do. I haven't done it because it's not a top priority by any means.
I want to summarize your success for our audience, kind of give you the reason why you're successful from outside in, and to everyone who watched it. Number one, this guy is so authentic. He did what most people not willing to do. Perfection is the enemy here. So many people trying to have a picture perfect. I want you to think even about this right now. He knew we scheduled this podcast yesterday. He did not try to set anything. He did not try to like clean the room or go somewhere sexy, right? He's like, I'm right here. I'm in this warehouse. I don't care what's behind me. I don't like, take me as is. And people love that because he's not pretending who he is. And that's his authentic. That's why people love this guy. Number two, he's always answering their questions. He's always thinking about what his audience wants to watch instead of showing his life and what he's interested in. This is how YouTube works. It's not about you. It's not about your interest. It's about what would they search for? What questions do they have? What kind of problems they have today that you can help them solve? So he understands that core principles. And number three, he's consistent. Once he started 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I believe your first video 6 years ago, he never quit. Have you ever wanted to quit?
There's been times you're like, why am I doing this? And then you read that one comment that just comes in. You're like, that's why I'm doing it right there.
Love it.
So if I can just add a couple little pieces for anyone new starting business, don't ever think you know it all. Continually learn. If you think you know it all, it's going to burn you one day. I mean, there's been things where I've been like, that sucks. You know what? We step up, we cover it, we pay for it, we make it right, we take care of it. And I'm a proud member of your directory service, which I love and can't wait to promote that more because that's awesome. Just never quit learning and get after it.
Love it. Thank you so much, guys. I'll put my information below. And by the way, let's do this. Where are you watching from? Comment below. Where did you watch this from? Let's start right here, right now. I learned something new today as well. Engage, ask a question, me, or my guest, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Appreciate it.